This morning it is. Yeah. We have two wonderful ladies in studio with us this morning.
Absolutely. Dr. Beverly Chesarem, the consultant neurosurgeon from Aga Khan University Hospital and assistant professor at Aga Khan University, and Dr. Sylvia Shitsama, consultant neurosurgeon, Thika Level 5 Hospital, lecturer at JQuat. I'm so out of breath because I'm so in awe. First of all...
You've already asked them all the good questions off air. I mean...
I'm like, will you be my friend?
No surprises now for us. But incredible to have you both here this morning.
I mean, it's ridiculous that we are like, they're female neurosurgeons. That's not a new thing, is it? How many female neurosurgeons are there in Kenya? Let's start there.
So Kenya has 6 female neurosurgeons. 4 are practicing in the country, and then 1 in Canada and 1 in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me you're all friends and you hang out, please.
We do.
I'm sure that there is. I'm sure there is a closeness, but we'll get to your thing. Your relationship, the two ladies here. I remember having the Deputy High Commissioner of the UK in studio last year, and obviously the High Commissioner and the Deputy High Commissioner are both women. And I made the comment towards the end by saying it's just great that both the Deputy Commissioner and the High Commissioner are women. And she's like, "What's so great about that?" And I felt so stupid because I was trying to pass her a compliment. She's like, "That should be normal." And again, I'm sure when you tell people out there that you're neurosurgeons, they're probably like, "Huh?" And then they're like, "Oh my God, well done, congratulations!" Because you're women, which is a bizarre thing actually.
Tell us a little bit about how you went into neurosurgery. Why? How?
So I initially wanted to be a lawyer. Then I think my mom played a role because she bought me the Ben Carson book, and that just flipped. And growing up, gender was never an issue in our home. It was just about your ability to do something, so based on your age, and that's how roles duties were given. And with time, when I said I was interested in surgeries, she encouraged us. She encouraged me, and that's how I've gotten here.
And the steps to neurosurgery, what is that? 17,000 years of study.
So it depends where you're studying. The first thing is you have to be able to get into medical school. So what I tell the listeners, I know some of them may be at that point where whatever you do in life, do it to your best. It gives you more opportunities and more doors open. So you need to get into medical school. Then when you get into medical school, regardless of where you train, neurosurgery has few slots open. So therefore you have to be the right of the curve, meaning that you have to be above average in how you perform. And then you need to apply. There are several programs currently in Kenya. So we've got the COSEXA training. That's the College of Surgeons of East, Central, and Southern Africa. So that covers 14 countries. And that gets neurosurgery training done here, as well as the University of Nairobi, which we're privileged enough is one of the training centers in Africa under the World Federation of Neurosurgeons. So we've got good training here. As an individual, I trained in the UK. So in Kenya, the training is 6 years long. In the UK was 8 years, and then after that you have to do a fellowship. By fellowship, it means a focused time in a particular subspecialty of neurosurgery. So a neurosurgeon does everything from, we see women who are pregnant whose scans, they're called anomaly scans. Maybe you're told there's something with the baby, so we're involved in the counseling, preparing for when the baby is born. We deal with neurological problems that may require surgical solutions through your whole life up to the time when you're older. And this could be in trauma, could be tumors, could be epilepsy, could be functional disorders like movement disorders. So it's a really wide gamut. There's hydrocephalus, there's infection. As long as it's in the nervous system and there is a potential for requiring surgery, that's covered in neurosurgery.
Okay, so Sylvia, let me ask you, and Davina asked this off air because I think we have to clear this up now. So the actual digging and cutting and opening and do you do that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. It's part of your training, and then when you finish, you just you move to a hospital and you operate. Most of the cases we see is trauma, because we have a lot of
car accidents, things
car
like this.
accident, motorcycle accidents, assaults, and then 30 to 40% account for tumors, congenital problems, vascular malformations. Yes.
Now you talk about specializing and things of that nature. When you say you're doing the surgeries yourself, both ladies, Beverly and Sylvia, is there a specialty for a certain type of surgery? So is there a specialist or specialization area for tumors, specialization area for head trauma, etc., or is it kind of all falling under neurosurgery?
So when you're training, you have to pass through all those areas and you have to acquire the core skills in all of them. Because we're a very small community at the moment, we're about 35, 37 neurosurgeons in the country. Most of us cover most of those areas, but you can get additional training. So I've had additional training in skull base, oncology, and global surgery, where Sylvia has had extra training in
Skull base and spine.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's oncology beating brain cancer and things of that
brain
nature.
tumors.
Okay.
So we all deal with them. And I think what happens is if you go and get an extra specialist training, I should let everybody know we're all on one WhatsApp group.
Yes.
So we
Can you add us?
so all the Kenyan neurosurgeons and those who are in training are in one WhatsApp group, which means if you go and learn something new, there's a propensity to share it.
Well, that's cool.
We're constantly teaching each other, and that's a very important part of it.
Don't pretend that you're not sharing neurosurgeon memes, okay?
Yeah.
It's not all.
yeah. But
You've been spying on us.
yeah, I'm sure there are some memes out there as well that only you would get.
When he says he has a headache, lol.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Now I forgot what I was going to ask. That's actually funny.
Let me ask. You are from the Aga Khan University Hospital, or you're based there. You work from there.
Beverly, yeah.
Beverly. And Sylvia, you work at Thika Level 5
Yes,
Hospital.
it's one of our teaching hospitals for JQuat.
Okay.
Yes.
And what are the differences in care that they can provide in the field of neurosurgery?
So, as you know, Aga Khan is a private university, and therefore it's of academic interest. As you said, I'm an associate professor. Assistant, I'm very ambitious. Let's not my chair here. I'm working towards it. I think the differences in Aga Khan is perhaps we see less of the public trauma. I think a lot of the trauma comes from like border riders and public transport. What we're able to offer is a particularly specialist service. On my way here, I was talking to the people I was traveling with, and I was saying the care I provide is no different to the one that I provide when I was in London. Indeed, I have access to a lot of resources. So we have, for example, stereotactic neuronavigation. What does that mean? We have specialist equipment that allows us to localize within millimeters of the brain. We have an endovascular suite, so we're able to offer coiling and other therapies. We're actually, I think, the best established. South of Egypt and north of South Africa, we're the best place to do that. When we look at tumors, we have a dedicated neuropathology service, and so we're able to offer much greater detail on that. We have a dedicated oncology, the whole gamut. And if we can't offer it here, we'll tell you where to get it. But there's certainly quite a lot that I am doing here that is comparable to anywhere else in the world.
So in Thika, being a public hospital, it is resource limited.
Yeah.
So most of the cases we see are trauma cases, between 60 and 70% of them. And then we also see congenital malformation, and that means hydrocephalus and spina bifida. And for spina bifida, mainly is due to lack of folic acid. And this also just boils down to nutritional status of the mothers, and this comes due to poverty, really. So we are able to address that, but we have challenges in terms of availability of ICU beds. So that also impedes our service. Lack of equipment, like they're well established. So I've been running this clinic since last year, and it's my hope that as we continue seeing more patients, then we'll get more facilities and we'll be able to do more and more complex cases, because currently we are doing trauma, we're doing the congenital malformations, and we are just about to start doing tumor surgeries there.
Okay,
Yes.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, I mean, we have a number of questions. One of which is how do you deal with some of these cases? Some of the people you can't help or you haven't been able to help, and these must be very difficult for you as well. I always wonder what doctors do to let off steam or at least heat. But I'm not talking about a girls' night out with a few bottles of wine, but to heal from your trauma. When you see things that you can't control. All that coming up in just a little while. What a great conversation we have this morning.